Hey everyone, I decided to make this video because years ago I made a video about Deku and Kaminari getting drunk. To this day I'm pretty sure it's my most popular video, so I thought why not do it again but in reverse? I also caved and wrote some smut for after the end of this video, so once you've watched it, make sure to check the description for the link. You're welcome. Now, on to the video. This story is set in the class's third year at UA. We are choosing to ignore what happened in the manga and just pretend the war ended perfectly with everyone totally fine and safe and happy. Ahem, the students had been sent on more hero work experience with different pro agencies, and Bakugo, Todoroki, and Shinso had ended up together. Hey, listen to this one. What do you call Bakugo when someone tells him to leave? Nobody tells me what to do. Exactly, so they call you Bakuste. Cha, it's not funny at all. I don't get it. I thought it was a great one, sensei. You always get me, even if these UA boys don't like my humor. I appreciate you both helping out this week. I never thought Endeavor's boys would agree to do hero experience with my super new little agency. I got offers from all the same places again. I figured it would be more beneficial to try and have a more unique experience. Cha, my options were here or Hawks. That asshole is always surrounded by fangirls on patrol. I thought this would be better, but your jokes make it questionable. Pfft, you're a funny one. I'll let you boys enjoy the party. She sauntered off toward more of the party guests just as Bakugo turned and locked eyes with the drinks table. I hate parties. I need a drink. Have you ever even drunk alcohol before? Todoroki followed behind Bakugo, much to his dismay, and made note of how the blonde boy went a little red in the face at his question. Well, no, but we're old enough to now, so I can. He huffed and grabbed a bottle of beer, taking a big swig with a smug smile on his face, until Todoroki merely shrugged and started guzzling down his own bottle. Whoa, hey, have you drank before? No, tastes good though. Huh? You're just trying to one-up me? What? Before Todoroki could even comprehend what he meant, Bakugo was downing his entire bottle and grabbing a second one. Hey, what the hell are you two doing? Wait, shit, I can't talk to you. I'm not gonna activate my quirk, dumbass. Who you calling dumbass, huh? You were about to be one with that beer in your hand. I was gonna show you how a real man drinks. Cha, is this your first ever beer? No, it's his second. Todoroki gestured to the bottle Bakugo had just downed, making Shinso laugh and crack open a can. What are you laughing at? It's not like you can do better, huh? I've been to a few parties the last couple months. I see hot. This douchebag is trying to show me up. He's not doing anything, Bakugo. Wow, you won't even back me up? You just don't want me to beat you either. But don't worry, I'm not a lightweight. I can drink way more than both of you without getting drunk. How do you know if you're a lightweight or not? You've never drank. Neither have you, but I know I can hold my own. You're just being stupid now. Oh, you disagree? You think you could do better? Not that it even matters, but if it'll lower your arrogance for once, then you're on. 30 minutes later. Who the hell left these three unattended? Why you yellin' for, huh? But Bakugo, I drank one more. Me too. Wait, 3, I had more. Nah, we're tied, dumbass. What are you doing? Put that down. Don't make me call your father over here. She snatched the new can of beer out of Todoroki's hand before he could open it, scanning the empty bottles and cans around them with frustration in her eyes. Oi, fire lady? That's Kamaji-san to you. Whatever. Who's more drunk? It's not me, right? You're not even talking right. Pfft, you both sound stupid. You're all way too drunk for a simple office party. You're barely even legal to drink. How do you plan on getting home, huh? Do you not have friends? Call someone. You should leave ASAP. Let me get you some water, yeesh. The pro sidekick left to find water to try and help sober them up a little, as the boys looked to each other in confusion. We should call Midoriya. No, shitty hair. I have no friends. Don't you and Dun's face like make out or something? Denki, I'll call Denki. Alright, calling shitty hair. Todoroki squinted at his phone and scrolled to find Kirishima's contact, somehow managing to call him just as Bakugo got even more confused looking at his phone. Who am I calling? He spotted Deku among his contacts and briefly remembered Todoroki mentioning him. Clearly that was who he was calling. So he pushed the contact and held his phone to his ear. Hello? Was this an accident? Wasn't I calling Kirishima? Who are you? Ka-chan? No, I'm Ka-chan. You're Izuku. Where's shitty hair? You called the wrong number, Ka-chan. are you alright? You sound funny. Hey, you sound cute. What? Bakugo grinned goofily and started giggling across the phone, making Deku stutter frantically asking what he's talking about. Do you always sound like this? It's just my voice. Let me go get Kirishima for you. Or, you could just keep talking. Deku moved the phone away from his ear as his face flushed red, hurriedly making his way out of his room to head toward Kirishima's dorm, only to spot him as he was heading downstairs with his own phone to his ear. I can't really understand you. Could you speak up just a little? Kirishima-kun? Ka-chan called me but he was supposed to call you. He's acting weird. I don't wanna talk to him anymore. Let me just talk to your cute voice instead, teehee. Deku immediately panicked and shoved his phone into Kirishima's hands, making the red-haired boy's eyes widen as he handed his own phone to Deku in confusion. Hello? Who is this? Whoa, Kirishima, you sound like Midoriya. I am Midoriya? This is Deku. What's up Todoroki-kun? Sleepy, wanna go home. What? Where are you? On the floor. Midoriya, I think they're together. They were at Ms. Joke's agency, right? Just sit tight my love. Your knight in shining armor will find you in no time. Kami? Where are you going? Who's that on the phone? Deku looked past Kirishima toward Kaminari who was just heading down the stairs, making him put a finger up as if asking them to hold on as he kept speaking into his phone. Just one moment handsome, I've gotta talk to my friends. I know, I'll be there soon, ahem. What's up with you two? Who are you talking to like that? Hidoshi called me and he's being super cute. I think he's finally accepted he's hopelessly in love with me, so I'm gonna go find him. Shinso, he was with Ka-chan and Todoroki-kun too, right? Yes, they're all together. Come on Kami, come with us. They're all drunk and need a lift back. He's drunk? Well, is he acting strange? Hidoshi my love, have you had anything to drink? Just a lil, come save me, they're eating my hair. Right yes, I'm on my way. Kami sighed and put his phone away, making Kiri give him a sympathetic smile and pat his shoulder. The fact he called you must mean something though, Drunk or not, this is a sign that he likes you at least. We better hurry, I think he's a little delusional. He thinks something is eating his hair. Oi, are you there? They all heard distant yelling from the phone in Deku's hand, so he panicked and held it to his ear again. Ka-chan, isn't this Todoroki's phone? Hehe, I stole it. I knew it was you. Well, we're just leaving to get you, okay? Give Todoroki-kun his phone back. I wanna talk to you. Talk to Todoroki? Oi, halfy man, he's dead. What do you mean? What's happening? Oh, he's dribbling on me, gross. Is he breathing? Stupid idiot sleepin'. Oh my god Ka-chan, don't scare me like that. Hehe, you sound cute when you're freaking out. I'm hanging up, stay where you are. Yes sir? Deku ended the call and swapped phones with Kirishima again, taking a deep breath before all of them rushed out the dorms to Kiri's truck. He has a sleigh truck like this. I'll drive, a couple will have to sit in the back on the way home. We'll figure that out later, just go before they wander off somewhere. 10 minutes later, the trio arrived at Ms. Joke's agency and hurried out of Kirishima's truck, only to pause as they looked over the scene before them in disbelief. Hehe, is he dead? No? Well, I hope not. What are you doing Ka-chan? Them birds are tap dancin', dead guys their dinner. Pfft, he's not dead Bakugo. Rashu birds? Hidoshi? Are you alright? Kami rolled Shinso onto his back and looked into his eyes with concern as the purple-haired boy blinked and looked around in confusion. Are they gone? Yes, come on get up, ga you're all stupid, having too much fun partying without us. I don't think that's the point dude, they clearly drank too much, I wonder how they ended up like this? Deku crouched down in front of Bakugo and the drunk boy only grinned wider and held his phone up to record Deku's face while giggling. Pretty. Are you alright Ka-chan? Can you stand? You sound less cute. Oh, sorry? He huffed before stopping his video and shoving his phone into his pocket, standing up abruptly and shocking Todoroki awake. My soba? Right, come on big babies, into the truck. Midoriya, can you help me get Todoroki in the back? Sure. They helped lift the sleepy drunk into the back seat of the truck as Kaminari dragged and shoved Shinso clumsily in beside him. Why are you strong for? You're so small. Being a beefcake is hot, right? Sure. So I'm hot? He squinted his eyes and leaned out the car door to touch Kaminari's face, making him flush red as his eyes widened in shock. You're cold. Pfft, there's no use trying to flirt with him while he's this delirious, bro. Ugh, he was being so cute over the phone, I swear. Oh, shotgun? Gun? Deku panicked until he noticed Kaminari quickly stealing the front passenger space in the truck, leaving him to look to Kirishima like a lost fish. Oh Midoriya, there's no more seats inside. Deku blinked as he looked from the fully loaded truck to Bakugo, who was clambering into the open back. I have to sit back there? With Ka-chan? Sorry dude, you snooze you lose. Right, it's alright. He tried his best to smile as he was freaking out internally, but still made his way to the back of the truck and locked eyes with Bakugo as he settled comfortably. What are you looking at? Nothing. I have to sit back here with you. Is that alright, Ka-chan? There's no space. There's plenty of space. There's no more room inside the truck. Humph, fine, but I wanna starfish looking at the stars. Deku frowned quizzically but began climbing into the back, blinking in shock as Bakugo laid onto his back with his arms and legs out, taking up every inch of space. Ka-chan, that's dangerous, you'll have to sit up back here. Are you two ready to go? Hang on just a minute. Ka-chan, please sit up, I have to sit somewhere too. Cha, you're no fun. He huffed but scrambled back upright and sat in the corner, leaving Deku a space beside him. Sorry, and thank you. Oi, shitty hair? Yeah, go. He banged on the roof and Kirishima started driving, grumbling about Bakugo damaging his truck, but he couldn't hear from outside anyway. As soon as the vehicle hit the roads and they started going a little faster, Deku realized just how cold it was outside, and couldn't stop his body from shivering. Why are you vibrating? I'm not, I'm just a little cold. Cold? The sudden look of panic and concern on Bakugo's face made Deku freeze in shock, until the drunk boy started letting off explosions without warning. Whoa, what the fuck? What's going on back there? We're gonna die? Ka-chan, stop that? The truck swerved a little from Kirishima's shock at the sudden explosions, making Bakugo topple over in the back and hit his head. Ow, are you okay? What happened? Is Suku's cold? I was just warming him up. Ka-chan. Do you wanna borrow my jacket, Midoriya? Kami called from the front and Deku looked through the back windshield as he took his jacket off. Yes please. Thank you. Hey, Hidoshi, can you pass this out your window back to Midoriya please? Smells like you. Shinso took Kami's jacket and held it close, leaning over against Todoroki and closing his eyes. Hey, don't sleep. He gawked in shock as Shinso's breathing evened out, the jacket firmly stuck in his grasp, and before long Todoroki had rested against him and fallen back to sleep as well. So much for that. Sorry dude. Cha, they're such lightweights. I totally won. I'm not as drunk as them. How much did you even drink? Bakugo sat back and looked down to his hands, starting to count on his fingers, until his lips pulled into a smile and he tilted his head back to laugh. What's funny? I ain't even know how many, I was just counting nothing. Deku tried his best to keep a straight face, but watching Bakugo laugh without a care in the world had him giggling alongside him. The blonde boy looked up to him and smiled wider, shifting his body weight to lean in close to Deku and hold his arm. You're cute again. Deku immediately flushed red and cleared his throat, his smile dropping as he shuffled backwards a little. You're so weird when you're drunk, he mumbled shyly, and Bakugo paused, his giddiness dissipating as he pouted and let go of Deku's arm. You hate me? I'll just go. He turned dejectedly and almost began climbing out the truck, making Deku scream in panic and dive over to grab him with his own hands and black whip simultaneously. What are you doing? He tugged him back, making them fall and tumble, knocking the whole vehicle side to side as Kiri frantically wobbled the wheel to keep them going steady. The sudden jolt made the two sleeping drunks bump heads and wake up in sheer panic. Uwa? Earthquake? What's happening? Midoriya? Is everything alright? The two boys in the back were frozen and panting in shock, Deku on top of Bakugo with every single one of his limbs trapped and pinned down. Stuck. Why would you do that? I dunno, you said I was weird. You are being weird. Why aren't you yelling at me? I wanna yell at you. He huffed and started trying to flail his limbs from under Deku, making the whole truck wobble again, until suddenly Shinso stuck his head out the window. Oi, what? Shut up and sit still. Bakugo's eyes immediately clouded over and Deku let go of him in shock as he calmly sat up in silence. Humph, Smug boy. Hey, did you just brainwash him? Ka-chan? Deku waved his hands in front of Bakugo, but he was completely unresponsive, just staring through him as though he wasn't there at all. Kaminari? How are we supposed to get Shinso to release him? Pfft, maybe it's a good thing. That's not funny. What if he never deactivates it cause he's drunk? Then just slap him? Hidoshi always says a big shock can snap them out of it. Are you insane? He's better quiet. I mean, if it keeps him still until we're back at the dorms, then maybe it isn't so bad. Whoa? Kirishima suddenly hit the brakes and swerved, sending Deku flying back on top of Bakugo once again, and snapping him out of his trance. Sorry, there was a cat? Bakugo blinked slowly and looked up into Deku's eyes as he stared down in concern, until the drunk boy reached up to touch his face, eyes wide in awe. Whoa, an angel. Deku blinked and jumped back off of him, only then noticing they weren't moving anymore as they'd finally reached the dorms. We're back, Ka-chan. Come on, time to get out the truck. Ugh, I wanna go. Huh? But, it's getting late, aren't you tired? Nah, I'm not like those losers. I'm gonna go crush some villains. What? You can't do that. Kentu? That's dangerous. You can't tell me what to do. Deku held on to Bakugo's arm as he began storming in the complete opposite direction of the dorms, but as he looked around for help, the others were already heading inside. Guys? Oh god. Kirishima was practically carrying Todoroki inside as Kaminari held Shinso's arm and pulled him along as well, completely oblivious to Deku frantically trying to stop Bakugo from leaving. Ka-chan, please come back, we need to get inside. Hehe, what are you, a chicken? Of course not, but you're drunk, Ka-chan. Even if you find a villain, you can't expect to win a fight in this state. You calling me weak? No, I'm calling you delusional. Fuck you, let me go. He tried to rip his arm from Deku's grasp, but the boy only held on tighter, refusing to budge as they pushed and pulled through their petty argument. I said let go of me? No? Suddenly Bakugo stopped trying to pull away, and as Deku was trying to process what he was doing, the blonde boy turned and caught him by surprise, grabbing both Deku's arms and pulling him close. Ka-chan? What are you doing? He only grinned and held Deku tighter, a hand round his waist to keep their bodies close as they stumbled down the street. Whoa, wait, Ka-chan, let me go? Well, how the turntables, wait, pfft. The drunk boy started laughing uncontrollably, immediately doubling over and losing his footing, sending both boys tumbling to the ground. Whoa. They rolled down a small bank of grass together, Bakugo still keeping his hold on Deku until they stopped and he was looking down at the freckled boy beneath him. His laughter had subsided and they both took a moment to catch their breaths, Deku looking up at Bakugo with the stars framing his face, those same stars reflecting in his eyes as he scanned the drunk boy's soft features. Ka-chan, your hair blends in with the grass, you look bald. He cracked up again and Deku had never slammed his mouth shut faster, feeling himself flush red with embarrassment until Bakugo finally climbed off him and stumbled back onto his feet. Cha, and I was about to compliment him too, what an idiot. He sat up and watched as Bakugo realized they'd rolled down into a small playground, with a climbing frame, slide, and swing set. Please be careful, Ka-chan. He tried to take a moment to calm himself down after getting so flustered, but he didn't get much time before he had to get up and supervise the unstable boy who was now attempting to climb the slide the wrong way. This is a nightmare. Hop, hey, when I take a step, I go back down? You're supposed to climb the ladder, Ka-chan, but it's not a good idea when you're this unstable. Hey, how about we swing instead? Come sit with me? He pleaded and hurriedly sat himself on a swing, using his legs to push himself and act like he was having so much fun. Woo-see? So much more fun than a slide? He watched hopefully as Bakugo stared over at him, until the drunk boy sighed and trudged over to the empty swing, plopping himself down and staring up at the stars. Deku took a breath of relief as they had a moment of peace, until he heard Bakugo humming softly. He stopped swinging and turned to watch him inquisitively. He looked so pretty under the moonlight. Do you think I'm a bad person? Huh, no, of course not, Ka-chan. What's even good about me? Well, you're very admirable, Ka-chan. You never give up. You're one of the smartest people I know. You've grown so much as a person in both your strength and your understanding toward people. Let's see. He held his hand up and continued listing all the positive qualities he could think of, counting them on his fingers and getting completely lost in thought. so much so that he didn't notice Bakugo getting up from the swing until he felt himself getting pushed and immediately held on in panic. Wha, Ka-chan? You have to warn me before doing that. I almost fell. Whoa, wait, this is too much. Hehe. You're gonna fly? Ka-chan, stop. He didn't listen and continued pushing, until he miscalculated his own position, and as Deku swung back, he got knocked flying onto his own butt. Oh god, are you okay? The freckled boy put his feet down to stop himself from moving and rushed over to where Bakugo was lying on the dusty ground, only to see him laughing. You were worried about me, huh? Of course I was. You could have knocked yourself out like that. Bakugo only grinned wider and burst into another bout of giggles, making Deku sigh, mostly of relief while still being completely at a loss of what to do with this mess of a boy. But as he looked down at him, laughing in the most carefree way, he couldn't help smiling along with him. You know, Ka-chan, you have such a cute laugh. The moment the compliment left his lips, Deku could feel his own face burning, especially as Bakugo's laugh died out and his eyes looked deeper into Deku's. Just as Deku was about to awkwardly clear the tension, Bakugo swiftly sat up and tugged him to the ground. In an instant he was pinned beneath the blonde boy, their legs tangled and his hand cupping his chin. Wah, ya think I'm cute? He mumbled, his breath hot on the side of Deku's face as the boy burned with embarrassment, completely frozen in his grasp. I think you're cute too. Deku could feel his smirk as he leant down, burying his face in the crook between the flustered boy's neck and shoulder. Ka-chan, I. His words were breathy as he shuddered, feeling Bakugo's legs shift around his own and his lips ghosting against his clammy skin. You smell good. He finally latched his mouth to Deku's skin and the boy's heart jumped in his chest as his stomach knotted. His mind was racing with so many things. Should he push Ka-chan away? He was drunk after all. But he couldn't, because he knew deep down, the part of him that had been repressed for so long, the version of himself who wanted his childhood bully to hold him, to love him and kiss him just as he was right in this instant, that part of him could never voluntarily have this end. But just as he was reaching a hand up to tangle in Bakugo's hair, they were interrupted. Oi, are you two canoodling? Todoroki, I asked you not to rush off. Oh, Midoriya? Are you okay? Bakugo huffed against Deku before pulling back and wiping his mouth, turning to glare up at Todoroki in pure irritation. I am okay. He sat up but couldn't look anyone in the eye, instead staring at the ground as he brought a hand up to hold his neck, his heart still racing. Fuck you, asshole. Bakugo got to his feet and wobbled over to Todoroki with an accusatory finger point. Go away. What were you doing to Midoriya? The two drunk boys began arguing, their words so slurred the sober ones chose to tune them out as Kiri rushed over to hold a hand out and help Deku back to his feet. Are you sure you're alright? I'm fine. Ka-chan didn't do anything wrong. See, stupid half-ass, I win. Kirishima, if it wasn't bad I would like to do that with you. Huh? What exactly was it you were doing? I was looking for villains. Bakugo began storming out the park and Deku finally snapped out of his dazed state to rush after him. I was trying to stop him but it didn't last very long clearly. Come on Bakugo, you know you can't just go off using your quirk like that when we aren't licensed. License schmicense, you're all chickens? Without an ounce of hesitation he suddenly blasted away, knowing that they would also have to use their quirks if they wanted to catch up to him, and it worked as Todoroki rushed off to follow him with his ice. Well shit. Hey, where are they going? A race? The last pair finally arrived at the scene just as Kirishima and Deku began running after their misbehaved drunks, leaving them behind in confusion. Guys, are you serious? We only just got here. Let's follow Sigh. Alright. Further ahead Bakugo had lost control of his explosions and sent himself flying into an alley full of garbage bags, accidentally giving the others a chance to catch up as Todoroki stood and laughed at him. What you laughing at? Fuck you. You look stupid. You always look stupid. He scrambled out of the trash only to lunge at Todoroki, grabbing at him as they both fumbled their quirks in a messy brawl. You two have to stop. You're going to cause property damage? He was laughing at me? You fell in trash. Are you children? Just as Deku was about to have a mental breakdown, Shinso and Kaminari caught up and understood the situation, and luckily Shinso was already sobering up faster than the other two. Oi, look, there's villains? Villains? Where? Lemme at 'em? The moment Bakugo spoke his eyes clouded over and he froze, making Todoroki stop fighting back to burst into more giggles. Oh, that works? Thank you so much Shinso-kun. Could you tell him to come back to the dorms? Go back to the dorms with Midoriya. Deku sighed in relief as Bakugo turned and robotically walked toward him, until he was caught off guard as the boy lifted him off the ground. Wait, get him to put me down? He can't do different commands from one response Midoriya. Kirishima. Can you hit him? What? To snap him out of it, please? Sigh. Fine, but if he gets mad at me I'm blaming you? Bakugo continued walking toward the dorms with Deku in his arms, until Kirishima came up behind him and used his hardened arm to thwack down on Bakugo's shoulder. He jostled to the side and his eyes instantly blinked back to normal as he frowned in confusion, before he looked down to Deku in his arms and broke into a drowsy grin. Hi, did I rescue you? Yes. Don't you remember? You caught some villains and saved us all, right guys? Oh yeah, totally, thanks Bakubro. But he just fell. Kirishima grabbed Todoroki before he could finish his sentence and covered his mouth, but Bakugo was oblivious anyway as he continued grinning smugly and carrying Deku down the street. The others sighed in relief and Kiri let go of Todoroki's mouth, only then realizing how the drunk boy was practically falling asleep against him, making him lift Todoroki onto his back as they all headed back to the dorms. Kaminari and Shinso trailed behind with their hands linked as they flirted and giggled, getting even further behind as Kirishima jogged a little to walk alongside Bakugo. Hey Midoriya? What was actually going on earlier, when we found you at the park? Oh, well, I think Ka-chan might have been about to kiss me. He was kissing my neck. Whoa. And then you interrupted. Sorry? Look, I'm a little worried about having to look after him for the rest of the night because he's clearly not in the right state of mind, and if he tries anything like that again who knows what he'll be like tomorrow. What do you mean? Well, if he does kiss me while he's drunk and actually remembers it then, by the time he's sober he'll be horrified. He'll probably blame it all on me. I just need to make sure he can't do anything tonight. Cha, you're talking about me like I'm not right here. I see where you're coming from, but also, just because he's drunk doesn't mean he would just be kissing all up on you for no reason. He obviously wants to. Hee. Totally. What? You're crazy? What are you yelling about? We should race back to the dorms? What? Why? Bakugo practically tossed Deku over his shoulder and somehow manhandled him into piggyback position, leaving him flabbergasted as he looked to Kirishima for help. Bakugo, that's dangerous. You can hardly walk right on your own as it is. You're just trying to show off that you're the strongest when you're literally not? You seriously think that in this state with a whole muscular person on your back, you can run to the dorms faster than me? Duh. Wait, Kirishima-kun, you're supposed to stop him? Deku yelled in panic as he was hoiked higher up Bakugo's back and the two competitive boys instantly began sprinting off, leaving Kaminari and Shinso behind again. Seriously? In the commotion of the race Todoroki was jostled awake and the two boys were wailing in fear as they held on for dear life, until they finally made it back to the dorms, Bakugo just a few steps ahead of Kirishima. That's crazy, there's no way you won while drunk. What kind of beast are you? I'm the future #1 hero. Kirishima, I wanna go bed. Oh, I'm sorry I woke you up. Oh, sorry Midoriya. I totally got roped into this because I can never pass up a manly competition. Pant, you guys need to stop leaving us. You ran all that way too? You were so fast, Kami bro? Kaminari only glared in response and Shinso half-heartedly rubbed his back as he panted to catch his breath. Bakugo let Deku down, but as Kiri went to do the same, Todoroki only snuggled into his shoulder. I wanna cuddle. I think you just need to head to bed. I can take him, if you'll watch Ka-chan. That's alright with me. Kirishima gently lowered Todoroki and the boy rubbed his eyes as Deku took his arm to lead him to the stairs, leaving the red-haired boy to chase down Bakugo, who was raiding the dorm kitchen for snacks. Where we going? Up to bed. You need to sleep. Where's Kirishima? He's looking after Ka-chan. But, what's wrong? They made it to Todoroki's room and the drunk boy instantly flopped onto his bed, burying his face in the pillow and making Deku freeze as he heard muffled sniffles. Are you crying? I guess I'll go get Kirishima. Deku instantly panicked and ran back downstairs, almost tripping in the process, but freezing as he came face to face with Bakugo, who was using all his strength to drag Kirishima forward. Oh, Izuku? Wait, Bakugo? Ugh. The blonde boy finally broke out of his grasp and darted forward to lift Deku off the ground into his arms. Ka-chan put me down? Nah, I want you all to myself, everyone else should go away. Wait, why did you come back down? Where's Todoroki? Oh, he's crying? I think he just wants you. I'm sorry? Kirishima immediately looked concerned, but Deku couldn't help but notice the pink hue to his cheeks and the way his eyes lit up a little at the thought of Todoroki needing him. Woo, go get your man Kiri bro? But don't do anything weird while he's drunk. Dude, obviously not. He huffed before rushing up the stairs, leaving Deku stuck in Bakugo's tight grip as the other pair cozied up on the couch and watched his predicament with amusement. Ka-chan, please put me down. Fine. He slowly lowered him to the ground but kept his arms wrapped round his waist from behind, resting his chin on his shoulder with an angry pout. Doesn't he look so dumb? Pfft, you're ballsy. They giggled together until Bakugo nonchalantly turned to kiss Deku's neck again, blatantly ignoring the couple on the couch. You smell good. Ka-chan? The flustered boy instantly used all his strength to separate them both, tangling Bakugo up with Black Whip and forcing him to sit on the ground a few feet away. Hang on, did I just see that right? Fuck. You swore. He needs to stop doing that? He's done that more than once? Earlier this evening? If he remembers all this when he's sober there will be hell to pay. What? Why? He'll never treat me the same. He'll get weirded out every time he sees me and feel like he has to constantly tell me he's not gay and not into me or whatever. But he kissed you, so he is. What are you even talking about? Do you like Deku? Bakugo blinked slowly with a confused frown plastered on his face, before looking up to Deku, scanning him, and looking back to Kaminari. No. You're stupid? Why'd you kiss him? Cha, he smells nice. And he's pretty. So you do like him? Nah, he's annoying? Please can you all just stop? Deku took a deep breath before letting Bakugo go and stopping Black Whip, rubbing his head from stress and looking down at the blonde boy. Seriously Ka-chan, drunk or not can you please stop kissing me? It's only gonna mess with my feelings. Huh? Wait, feelings? Midoriya, do you like Bakugo or something? The freckled boy sighed in hesitation before scanning Bakugo, coming to the conclusion that he must have been way too drunk to remember anything the next day. Surely? Yeah, I do, but it doesn't matter cause I've always known I have no chance. Ka-chan would never like me back. But you're pretty. What? I mean, Bakugo thinks he's pretty? Oh, right. That doesn't mean anything, even if he isn't just saying it cause he's drunk. If he doesn't like my personality then who cares what I look like? Wait, you like me? The others all looked to him incredulously, Deku's first thought being that he was so drunk it took him that long to catch up with the conversation, until he noticed the look of utter shock on his face. How much did you drink again? Bakugo only frowned and looked deep into Deku's eyes. You like me? Oh, ha ha ha, you look so serious? You clearly can't be that drunk anymore so you'll be alright on your own. He immediately turned to rush off but felt his heart leap into his throat as his arm was grabbed and he was forcibly turned to look at Bakugo again. Izuku, answer me, stop joking around. Yuri not drunk? Answer my question first. Fine. It's true, it's all true, I've liked you for as long as I can remember. Bakugo held his arm tighter and continued to frown at him as the poor boy screwed his eyes closed as if in preparation of being hit, until Kaminari started to get overly concerned. Come on dude, you gotta say something? Bakugo turned to glare at Kaminari in frustration before storming off and dragging Deku along with him. Ka-chan? What are you doing? You can't hurt him just cause he likes you? That's not his fault dude. Kami chased after them in panic until Bakugo turned and put a hand on his shoulder, sighing and trying to calm himself down. Please, just trust me, obviously I'm not going to hurt him, I just want to talk to him, alone. Kaminari hesitated for a moment, looking past Bakugo to Deku who was clearly panicking, but Kami knew this was the calmest Bakugo had ever spoken to him, and the look in his eyes seemed genuine. Alright, Midoriya, you don't have to go with him if you don't want to though? Deku nodded but still stumbled along behind Bakugo as he pulled him by the wrist to his dorm, and as they got inside, all the effort he spent trying to calm down went to waste as he was instantly pressed against the wall, forced to look up into those same frowning red eyes. Ka-chan wait, I would never make a move on you or anything you don't have to feel uncomfortable. I know it's unreciprocated and that's fine, I'm fine with that. I've tried really hard to stop liking you but it doesn't work and I'm really sorry, I'll keep trying. His eyes were watering and he looked utterly terrified as Bakugo's expression never seemed to falter, until finally, he loosened his grip on Deku's wrists and sighed, resting his head forward onto Deku's shoulder. I have a headache. Oh, do you want me to get you a drink and some meds? Bakugo only tightened his grip again and shook his head against the shorter boy's shoulder, staying there silently as Deku's mind span and whirled. Do you hate me? There was another moment of hesitation before he felt Bakugo shake his head again, making him instantly relax just a little, closing his eyes and trying to calm down, until Bakugo turned his head and pressed yet another kiss against his neck. Deku almost let out a sob as his fists clenched against the wall and his eyes scrunched closed, until Bakugo started laughing softly against his shoulder. Cute. My heart is going to actually burst out my chest. What the fuck is happening? Why is he doing this to me? Is he just teasing me? He probably thinks I'm pathetic. Please Ka-chan, I know you're drunk, but why do you keep doing that? It's really difficult for me to act like I don't feel these things about you all the time as it is, but if you're going to keep getting close to me and kissing me, I don't know what any of this means. Bakugo finally leaned back away from him and looked up to the ceiling, chewing on his lip in thought as he sighed deeply, until he let go of Deku's wrists and brought his hands up to cup his face instead. Deku's eyes widened, but before he could process anything, Bakugo had pressed their lips together. His eyes were closed and his lips were so soft against his own, feeling Bakugo's big hands cradling his face so gently as he stood there dumbfounded, arms down at his sides as his eyes spilled over with tears. He closed his eyes and cried against him, bringing his hands up to curl his fingers tightly into the soft fabric of Bakugo's shirt, letting their lips mold together as they kissed over and over. Bakugo seemed to get completely lost in the feeling of Deku actually trying to reciprocate, and couldn't hold himself back from pressing his tongue between his lips and holding him closer as Deku let out a shocked muffled sound into his mouth. There was no longer a single inch of space between them as Bakugo moved a hand to Deku's lower back and pulled him closer, his shoulders still pinned against the wall behind him as their tongues lapped together and he felt his lungs start to burn. Deku gasped for air each time their lips separated with a smack, but it wasn't enough as Bakugo dove back in for more so fast every time, which left Deku clawing at his shirt in panic as his eyes continued to flood with tears even as they rolled back from dizziness. It wasn't until Deku reached up to smack Bakugo's shoulder repeatedly that the boy finally pulled back, leaving the freckled boy sputtering and gasping for air as Bakugo simply continued trailing kisses across his cheeks and jaw and neck. Ka-chan, hang on a second, please, Ka-chan. He landed one strong hit to Bakugo's shoulder and moved to push him back, only for his hands to be grasped and pressed against the wall beside his head once again. But finally the blonde boy pulled back enough to look at him, and boy did he look a wreck, swollen lips and a fresh bruise on his neck, tear streaks down his cheeks as his lashes stuck together and he continued gasping for air. Bakugo could have sworn his pupils were shaped like hearts. Why'd you hit me? I wanna kiss you more. Ka-chan, please give me a minute. Use your mouth for words, not more kissing. I need an explanation. Are you even sober? Mostly. Deku took a deep breath and managed to stand up steadier, looking to Bakugo with determination before pressing back against his hands that were keeping him pinned to the wall, entwining their fingers and holding them gently between their bodies. Talk to me please, Ka-chan. I told you exactly how I've been feeling. I deserve an explanation. Sigh, fine geez, I like you too, stupid, and I'm barely even drunk anymore. I didn't even drink that much, but it was my first time, so it hit me pretty hard at first, I guess. I dunno. So what, you were just playing it up? No, not at first, but when we were at the park I think the fresh air and watching the stars brought me back to my senses a little, but I liked how confident it made me, how vulnerable I was able to be with you and pretend there would be no consequences. I had something to blame my behavior on if it all went bad. So you really wanted to kiss me? Actually? I'm not drunk. Well, not super drunk. No, I'm being crazy. I can't possibly believe that. Hopefully you're just so drunk you won't remember anything tomorrow. But I'm really telling the truth. I'll totally remember this. Maybe not earlier, but all this I will. No way. You're so drunk right now. I cannot believe I let you kiss me like that. Whoa. Bakugo huffed in annoyance and tugged Deku away from the wall, practically tossing him down onto his bed and climbing over him as he flushed red and stuttered in panic. You don't believe me? Well, I don't think so. Why does it matter? Because you're kissing me and telling me you like me, but if you're drunk then how can I believe it's true? What a predicament you're in. Bakugo teased with a grin, moving his hand down to brush his fingers underneath the fabric of Deku's shirt, pushing it up to expose his stomach. Whoa, what are you doing? Well, if you wanna believe I'm drunk then go ahead. If you really think I won't remember this tomorrow then shouldn't you just enjoy living out your fantasies while it lasts? What do you wanna do with me Izuku? Before Deku could respond he was bringing his other hand down to hold the boy's bare waist and dipping his head down to latch his lips to the unblemished side of Deku's neck. He hesitated for a moment before his fingers instinctively found their way to his head, tangling in his unruly hair as his mouth ravished his sensitive skin, forcing a whimper from his lips. Bakugo pulled back and licked his lips, tilting his head as he looked down into Deku's eyes with intensity. Either I'm not drunk and I want to do this, or I am drunk and I won't remember it, no matter what. That's good for you, right? So why stop me? They waited with bated breaths as Deku battled internally, but the air in the room was already thick with tension, uncertainty, but excitement. He's right. No matter what happens next, this is my chance to finally experience what I've always dreamed about. He's giving me the opportunity. I would be an idiot to turn him down now. Bakugo was waiting patiently, and it was eating him up inside, but thankfully before he could reach the end of his tether, Deku tugged him down to crash their mouths together, instantly kissing messily as Bakugo's hands traveled across his bare skin. I love you Ka-chan. Save the sappy shit for after nerd. The end. Except not really cause after I was absolutely swamped with requests, begs and demands, I have written you some smut. It's linked in the description, and yes it's only on AO3 not on Wattpad because there's absolutely no point in me posting anything there anymore when it only gets removed. Use your eyes in the description and click the link labeled smut. Ahem, some of you genuinely have no brain cells, it's so frustrating. However, to those of you who do manage to find the very easily accessible link and read the glorious act of love making over on AO3, I hope you enjoy it, you animals. Anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. It's way too fucking long and I didn't know how to end it because I honestly didn't wanna include smut, but everyone's been asking for it, so this is how my shit ends when I have to awkwardly transition to the hanky panky. I'm complaining a lot, thanks for watching, love you, bye.